Hi friends, and welcome back to Violin Teacher. Today I'm continuing my series on Wohlfahrt Opus 45. And today in this video we'll discuss number 17. Okay, so I have had a long day of teaching and just played through this. And the main points that you will have to deal with in number 17 is string crossings. Now it is in the key of D major, and so you'll have some accidentals in there between, say for example, C sharp, playing a high 3 on the G, with G naturals, which is a regular 3. So changing 3, and then sometimes Wohlfahrt makes it a low 2, C natural. Like, let's say for example, measure 1, 2, 3, 4, measure 5, you have C sharp. So, and then in a couple measures after that, you will have some G sharps, and then line 3 you'll have in the third, fourth measure you'll have C sharp. So watch for that with F sharps, C naturals. So you feel sort of like your fingers are twisting behind each other. So watch for that. And two rhythmic little tricks that I found were line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7, where in the third measure you have a quarter note, right there. That's a quarter note, and I always want to play that an eighth note, so you may too have that problem. So then you'll end up feeling like you're missing a beat in there somewhere. So watch for that. Let me think. Now there is also an extended 4, which we had in the previous number 16. Maybe it was number 15 that we had that extended A sharp. Let's see, that's in line 5. We're playing a D sharp this time, so it's the same technique over a string, which makes it really tricky in coupling that with arpeggiated melody. So at the beginning of line 5, measure 3, we have, then you have it on the G actually, isn't it? So hold the 2, extend the 4, hold the quarter note, that's still a D sharp, and then you have the regular 4 on D. So stay on your toes there. It happens again a couple lines later. Now, before I just play this through for you at a reduced, sort of slower tempo, I just want to deal with how to practice some string crossings in this that may not be your cup of tea when you start playing it. You may find that it's kind of sloppy and just isn't fitting very well. So I'm going to give you a couple tips. Starting at the beginning, let's see, most of the units and measures begin with a quarter note paired with a 2/16, like that. Now whether they're string crossings or not, that's not my point. My point is that after that, at the end of the measure, you have the half note starting on an up bow, on which you will tend to spend your bow. And then you will have to start your next measure sort of in the lower half. Now, how are you going to do this half note? So if you don't do some bow planning in this, you are going to end up uncomfortable. So to balance the bow strokes, we're going to push on the down bows. That one on the 8th note. And save on these. Try to use only half a bow on these half notes. Push. 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 Save. See the pattern? So follow the bowing pattern and you'll be okay. That's one challenge. If you don't do that, you'll see when you try it how hard that is. Okay, then how to practice the various arpeggio motion in the bow. So I think, well, let's find out. I think most of the arpeggios here are going to start up bow. So if I took the first measure, here's the arpeggio beginning. So if I took away the fingers on that, put my hand right here and let me just figure out, it would be D on the push note, and then another D on the first of the 16th. So that's the first beat. So I'm just looking at the pair, the two, every other pair of notes to figure out what the open string bowing is. Do you understand how I'm doing that? So it's taking away the fingers and figuring out what string I would be playing. That's the first beat. Now the next beat is... Alright, so let's test each beat first, and then we'll put the beats together. Do it in reverse, starting up bow, so you don't have to keep picking up your bow to do repetitions. Okay, if that's easy, speed it up. Add the push factor to it. Push, push, push. Alright, so beat 1's pretty easy. Let's see what beat 2 is now. Remember it's up bow first. Since there are an equal number of notes, it will be up bow every time. No need to reverse that one in this case. It doesn't need to, because it keeps ending up with an even number of notes. And then you'll have this crossing for the last note. But we're leaving that out for now. So the push note, we're going to put two beats together now. That's tricky. So, okay, and that one, that's how you practice the first measure. And that's one of the easy ones. So, let me see if I can find one that's a little tricky. Maybe, just guessing here, the second to the last measure, where we go all the way from G to E string. Let's see how that one is. Alright, so let's figure out what that one is. It'll be G, D, D for the first beat. Alright, the next beat will start up bow. Alright, let's do the third beat. Not hard at all. So let's put beat 2 and beat 3 together. Not hard at all. It's a rhythm, and then so that's pretty easy. Let's see. Alright, so you really essentially have to memorize that. If you have a kind of a sloppy bowing, you'll want to just do that by memory. That's the open string bowing. It's such a useful practice method to use. If you feel like your string crossings in this one are not very good, for some reason squeaky and sloppy, then go ahead and do your open string, isolate your unit and do it, your open string practice units. Now, let me see if there's anything else that we need to discuss before we play through. Notice that about line 4, instead of those half notes at the end, we have slurred 2 quarter notes. Don't change that. It's still going to be up, up. Save it as if it were still a half note, okay? Here's a demonstration. I'll begin at line 5. Push. Save. Okay, so watch for that. Right. Now, you have one other choice I want to point out before we go on. And that is you can stop this bow, and at the end, you can pick it up and start again with it sort of off the string, or you could try rocking over. Alright, so you can do that. You can leave it on the string, save the bow. There's a lot going on in this one, really. And also I found it easier to just relax and use just a little bow, not a lot of bow on the string crossing. On the part where, this part, little bows, little bows. All right, so let's see how it goes. Here we go. Thank you so much for watching.